Could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Peter Denman. I'm a student at Mahidol University. I'm reading physics. And I'm currently an actor at Thailand Channel 3. And the soap I'm involved in is called Amazed by Love. It's about four people. I mean, it involves the love of a father and the love between two girls that, hey, this girl is our first love, but we're not so connected. But this other girl may not be our first love, may not be what we expected, but it works. Yeah.
What was the most challenging scene that you shoot on this lakon?
Yes, the most challenging scene. I think we had a lot of obstacles when we went to Vanuatu. We were on the Sankei, and we had 3 hours to shoot, and then they said that the water will come back up. So then we were on there, and then the people who took us there was on the boat, they left. And then the water started coming up, so the crew had to hold all the camera up. And then we were thinking we're going to lose all the footage, we might go underwater, but suddenly the boat came and they waved at us and they smiled, so we were relieved. And so we put all the camera onto the boat and the footage was saved and we can air the footage, fortunately.
Let's talk about your childhood memories. You were born and raised in the UK, right?
I was born in Thailand, but I was raised in the UK. Yes.
Is the culture very different from each other?
I think I was very fortunate to have parents that were very multicultural. They taught me to be open-minded and understand that there may be differences between cultures, but we should embrace all cultures and there are benefits to each culture and we can actually blend them. Like how the Thai culture is very soft and gentle. And I think that is a very beautiful characteristic of the Thai culture.
And what about British culture? What do you gain from being British?
Yes, I think by being British, we are encouraged to ask questions. When we study, if we don't understand, we should ask the teacher and don't be scared to make mistakes. If we make mistakes, we're learning.
Is the word personality or characters really matter to you?
Does personality matter? Well, we have to define what is personality. Personality is an enduring trait. So the important word here is enduring. Anything that's enduring and it is with us is critically important because it affects how we react to anything. If something comes to us and we react in an angry manner for a long period of time, that is very unhealthy.
Which kind of personality that you try to avoid?
Personalities that I try to avoid, I think, would be cynical personalities. Personality where people want to hurt others. Malevolent, yes, malevolent.
Can you give me an example?
Yes, I'm sure that there are people who want to take advantage of others. They may want to take advantage of people who don't know what they're doing, so they take advantage of them. It may be financially or in any other ways. Yeah.
And what kind of personality that you really admire?
I think altruistic. People who are altruistic, because the definition of altruism is they're willing to reduce their welfare to increase the welfare of others. So there's no benefit for them to do that. It's a sacrifice for them, but they're willing to do it. So I really admire altruistic people.
Have you ever met someone that has this kind of character in your life?
Yes, definitely. A lot of us, like our king, Rama IX, or there are many academics out there, or people like Bill Gates with his philanthropy, where he's going out there to help people, underprivileged children in Africa. There are many out there. Yes.
Which personalities that you think it ruins relationships?
I think dishonesty. Once you're dishonest, the whole relationship is fake. You're standing on ice, which may break any time, and you actually don't get to know each other. I mean, if I'm in a relationship with someone who's dishonest, I actually don't know the person. Yeah.
And do you have any ideas or tips to build honesty?
I think people who are dishonest, I think if you start with honesty from the very beginning, then there's nothing to maintain. But if you start with being dishonest, then you may have the fear of, oh, I may break the relationship if I tell them the truth afterwards. So very important, very easy, be honest since the beginning. Be yourself.
Do you have any great tips to concentrate better when it comes to studies?
Yeah, definitely. The most, I think, the biggest distraction in studying is social media, our phone. So there's research to say that people who have their phone close to them are more likely to play on their phones. So it's not just we have to switch off our phones. Don't put it near us. Put it outside of the room and then focus on your studies. And once you start to focus, it may be very difficult to resist going to the phone initially. But once it becomes a habit, it'll be very easy.
Normally, you always like take your phone away while you're studying.
Yeah, I started with that. I put my phone away while I was studying, but after time I could leave it close to me because I got in the habit of resisting not to touch the phone. Yeah.
And how do you motivate yourself to study?
The key is that you don't have to motivate yourself. If you are really passionate about the subject, you want to wake up every morning and you are excited with a lot of power and passion and you want to learn more about that subject. So I think very important is to find something that you're passionate about.
And you're really passionate about physics, right?
Yeah, I have a thirst for knowledge, so I'm very passionate about science and language in general, yes.
How it all started?
I have to confess that I wasn't very fond of science a few years ago until there was a scientist who came to Thailand. His name is Mr. Chris, and he gave a speech and he taught us about science, and I think the light bulb sparked. He enlightened me. I saw the beauty of knowledge. Yes.
Let's move to the next.
Yes.
Boxing.
Boxing.
What makes you passionate about boxing?
Well, I think I first started boxing for the health benefits. There are so many benefits of the aerobic type of exercise. But once I started to do it, I developed a passion for it because boxing is not a sport where you just use power. It may seem as if, oh, it's about hurting the other side, but it's quite the contrary. It's not that. It's a chess match. You have to be able to have vision and read your opponent. And you have to think a step ahead. How do I counter it? What am I going to do? So I think it's fair to say it's a very intellectual, cognitively engaged game. It's like a chess match, yeah.
Apart from beneficial for your body, is there any other benefits that you get from boxing? Like mind or...
Yeah, with the mind, definitely. You get focus, respect, discipline. You learn with the culture during boxing, and you fasten your reflexes as well. Nowadays, because when you box, you have to slip punches. So when I'm driving and there's a car that cuts in front of me, it was very shocking how your reaction time actually speeds up. So yeah, and it's very important for the mind. It teaches you to focus and stay calm under pressure, and you can translate that into other aspects of life. When there's stress, you can remain calm and then find a solution to grapple with it.
Can boxing make you more confident?
Surely, I mean, if you do well in boxing, your physique gets better and your performance gets better. You actually develop your self-esteem. You feel better about yourself, and overall you'll be more happy as a result.
Is there any new habits that you gain or being cultivated by doing this kind of activities?
Yes, I mean, once you start doing boxing, you want to increase your performance. So I started to get more sleep, care more about nutrition. Yeah, it's the whole package. Once you start exercising, you want to be healthy. So you start eating right, getting enough sleep, taking care of your body.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for about 8 years. I've always been involved in sports since I was young. It was football, swimming, team sports with my school. Yes.
Is there any life lesson that you've learned from doing these activities or sports?
Yeah. One thing I'm very proud of is that respect. I've learned from boxing that don't get angry at your opponent. After the fight, you respect your opponent. During the fight, you give it everything you have. But after the fight, you're friends. You touch gloves. And the other aspect that I've learned from boxing is that I've developed true, genuine, meaningful relationships. A lot of the friends I have today came from boxing, and I'm very grateful about that.
Could you please encourage teenagers
Yes.
to come and do more about like boxing?
Activities. Yes, for the teenagers out there, or it could actually be anyone, no matter the age. It doesn't have to be boxing. It may be any other sport. But by joining a sport, you'll be seeing people with a common interest, and you may get healthier and build friendship.